Following breaking news this morning out of Baltimore, rescue crews are on the scene after a cargo ship rammed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge, causing it to collapse.
Yeah, authorities calling this a mass casualty event this morning. The moment all caught on camera. Good day's Lizette Nunez joins us now with the very latest. Good morning, Lizette.
Good morning, Dan and Tashana. This is a really shocking video coming from Baltimore. According to the Associated Press, first responders are attempting to rescue at least 7 people in the water. This all happened at around 1:30 in the morning in Baltimore. Live stream of the Francis Scott Key Bridge shows the cargo ship inching closely before it crashes. Thick black smoke is seen before most of the bridge collapses, sending multiple cars into the water. According to the director of the Baltimore Fire Department, one of those vehicles was the size of a tractor trailer. The Maryland Transportation Authority, writing on X, said all lanes are closed both directions on the Key Bridge. Baltimore Mayor Scott Brandon also posting on social media that he has been alerted about the crash and was heading to the scene. Right now, the focus is to rescue as many people as possible. And for some background here, this is a 1.6-mile-long bridge. It is an outer crossing of the Baltimore Harbor, and it carries a stretch of I-695. Now, it's been around since 1977. It is a highly trafficked bridge carrying more than 11 million vehicles a year. The cargo ship was reportedly heading through Baltimore to Sri Lanka. There are no confirmations of injuries or fatalities, but we will continue to watch that closely. Dan and Tashani.
All right, Lizette, I'll take it. Thank you.
All right, so there you have it. So I just want to open up by giving all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, Bahashem Rakaha Chodash, and the belongings to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule on and do teach well, and have taught me this truth to you. I say shalom, and shalom to the hopeful elect, Kwam Yashala and Abal above all, and shalom to you, Akim, that are in the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth in sincerity and truth, and not for vainglory and risking your lives to do so. All right, may you be in the Lord's good graces. All right, so hey man, this was a heavy blow to the United States economy, because that bridge that leads to that harbor, I believe that's one of the busiest ports or harbors in the United States. I think it's the 10th busiest. So that's a heavy blow, right? That's a heavy blow. But one thing I just want to mention as well is this is judgment, man. All right, this is some serious judgment. And that usually happens around this time during the Feast of Unleavened Bread and the Passover. Judgment always takes place. And this is judgment, okay? And also, I just want to say, this exposes the flaws in America's infrastructure. You know, America has a lot of infrastructural problems. I believe they're at a D rating. So the infrastructure is not good. And as you heard in the video, I believe the bridge was 1.6 miles long, and it was around since the 70s. And I can guarantee you, if you do the research, that bridge wasn't maintained the way it should have been maintained. And that's why it fell so bad. Yes, obviously a big ship hit it, but you know, that is catastrophic, and it just exposes the flaws of infrastructure in America. It exposes that. And it also, man, I just want to say, look, when you think of infrastructure and the government maintaining the infrastructure, you automatically think of, government, they're incompetent. United States government, they don't have a lot of money. They're in debt. They're broke. They can't fix certain things. You know, that's not entirely true. Okay, that's half the truth. But the thing is, due to corruption and this place circling down the drain, it's come to the point where a lot of the money and resources, they're not being allocated in the right places when it comes to fixing the infrastructure properly and promptly. And that's what you're seeing. Okay, this exposes that. This exposes that, man. And this is judgment. I believe it reminds me of Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31. I'm going to pull that up. I have it here on deck. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of a living power, and that's true. And, America, Babylon, fails to realize that they're in the hands of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And that's one thing they're not doing. They don't fear the Lord, the power of the Bible, which is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. They don't fear them. Now the scripture says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, right? So you have to fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to get wisdom, and that's what America lacks. They really don't have true wisdom, and that's why they're circling down the drain. They don't have true wisdom, and they also have no fear, no respect for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But this should put some fear into you. And really, they're lucky. They're lucky. They're lucky that a lot of people didn't die. There weren't a lot of casualties. A lot of casualties. Because imagine if this happened during peak hours, when people were going to work or leaving work, crossing that bridge. Thousands of people could have died. Who knows? Or so just keep that in mind. That should strike some fear into you. Now I want to go into the infrastructure. Let's go into Isaiah chapter 14, because this proves that America's infrastructure is at an all-time low. And like I said, this exposes that. And there's many other things you can call out, like what happened this month, during the month of March. I believe it was March 15th. You had a big hailstorm over there in Texas that destroyed all these solar panels. They put all that money into those solar panels, not thinking that a hailstorm would hit Texas, because you don't usually get that type of weather. Hailstorms? Come on, man, right? Chunks of ice falling out of the sky. But that destroyed a bunch of solar panels, and now the general public in that area, okay, they're complaining that they're fearing that toxic chemicals can leak into the soil. And how are they going to fix this? And guess what Joe Biden's doing? He's like, okay, you know what we'll do? We're just going to put more solar panels there. Okay, but you see, that puts you at a deficit, and a deficit goes into debt. Because now you got to replace those solar panels, and now you got to do environmental cleanup, right? And then how long is it going to take? So it's like I said, man. It's not that they don't have the money to fix things. It's just that they're not allocating the right resources and funding to fix these issues. Okay. So that's what you're seeing. Okay, I'm just using that as an example. And yes, it gets more complicated, but that's my argument. Right. So anyways, man, let me move on. So this is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 11. It says, "Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee." Oh, and that's the main point. Okay, and this is talking about Babylon, and America as Babylon in the spirit and in the reincarnation. And man, that thy pomp is brought down to the grave. Yes, so that pride is going to be brought down low, and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee. So that worm is going into decay. Okay, this place being corroded and decaying from the inside out. Now let's use the analogy of a worm in an apple, right? So for example, you go to this nice big apple tree and you pick the apple off the tree, but then you look at the apple, it looks nice on the outside, but when you take a bite into it or you slice it in half, you see a worm inside of it, eating the apple from the inside out. That's America. Okay, and that worm is eating the apple, which represents the worm destroying the infrastructure in this place. So America is that apple. From the outside, it looks good. It looks like, oh wow, let me go to America. It looks so beautiful. But then when you get into America, you see that the infrastructure is being destroyed. It's being destroyed from the inside out. Okay, so this goes into that. This is talking about how America America's infrastructure is very poor, right? And America is circling down the drain. All right, so anyways, that was just a quick video. Just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaChodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and that do teach well, that have taught me this truth. To you, I say Shalom, and Shalom to the hopeful elect, Kwame Ashal and Abad Babal.